We've gotten more clarity about Heartstopper in the past few days than we did in the entire last year. And instead of creating panic, it finally brings something rare to fandoms: peace. You're watching Screenscope Reviews, where stories aren't just followed, they're understood. For months, one question dominated every discussion. Will there be a Season 4? Season 3 ended on a moment that felt like a doorway. University on the horizon. Long-distance fear settling in. Nick and Charlie standing at the edge of adulthood, unsure of who they'll be next. It felt unfinished in the most beautiful way. But behind the scenes, the cast and creators were facing a harder truth. Not can the story continue, but should it? Kit Connor recently addressed that question with quiet honesty. He explained that no one wants to stretch Heartstopper just because it's popular. These characters are growing. The actors are changing. And forcing a coming-of-age story to stay frozen risks losing the authenticity that made it special in the first place. That honesty reshaped everything. Instead of a fourth season, Heartstopper will conclude with a feature-length film titled Heartstopper Forever. This isn't a compromise. It's a conscious choice. Kit Connor and Joe Locke are executive producers, giving them a voice in how Nick and Charlie's journey ends. Alice Oseman is writing the screenplay herself, ensuring the soul of the graphic novels remains intact. The same heart that began this story will be the one that finishes it. Now for today's update, the one that truly closed the chapter. Filming has officially wrapped. Behind-the-scenes photos shared by the cast didn't feel like promotion. They felt like thank-you notes. Netflix has since confirmed the film is scheduled for release in 2026, allowing time for a careful, meaningful final edit rather than a rushed goodbye. Narratively, the movie begins right where Season 3 left off. Nick is preparing for university. Charlie is growing into a stronger sense of self. But this isn't about shy glances or first kisses anymore. It's about whether love can survive distance, ambition, and change. Connor has hinted at more mature, intimate moments, not for shock, but because the story itself is growing up. The innocence of discovery is giving way to vulnerability under pressure. Commitment tested by reality. And it won't only be about Nick and Charlie. Tao, Elle, Darcy, and Isaac will face their own turning points, making this feel less like an extended episode and more like a true conclusion for the entire friend group. What makes this ending feel right is that it's chosen. Heartstopper isn't fading. It isn't being replaced. It's stopping at the moment that feels honest. And in a world where stories often overstay their welcome, that kind of creative restraint is powerful. So yes, it's bittersweet. But it's also beautiful. Because Heartstopper Forever won't just end a series. It will close a chapter that helped an entire generation feel seen. And sometimes, the most meaningful goodbye is the one that knows when to arrive.